What's going on, guys? It's Step6 here, and welcome to my full Firebase Z Easter egg tutorial guide. If you guys want to do the Easter egg, be sure to use this guide. It's going to tell you everything you need to know to complete it to the best of your abilities. If you do enjoy that, I do ask that you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notification notified of when I upload or go live. I also ask that you go in my description to follow my Twitch. You're going to be streaming there every day from Monday. But anyway, guys, that's it from me, and let's get right into the guide. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn on all three E3 reactors and open Pack-a-Punch. It's a pretty self-explanatory step. If you don't know how to do that, I have a guide on my channel. You now want to go over to Mission Control, and in here you'll see through a glass window Dr. Peck. You just want to interact with him to speak to him, and he will give you a quote. So you now learn that Dr. Peck didn't hold up his end of the bargain and didn't give Max's back. So you want to go back to the spawn room in the Kaysan village, and you want to interact with Captain Revanov, whatever you want to call him. He will then give you a keycard which you want to pick up, which will be used to open three sort of cabinets. The first one being located right actually in the spawn area in the equipment storage on the bottom floor. As you can see, you just want to open it, use the keycard to open it, and then pick up the serum inside. I just want to note you don't have to do any of these in a particular order, but then you want to go over to the Colonel's office, and you want to use the keycard and grab the second serum. This is actually in the military commander control room, if you didn't know. The final cabinet with the last bit of serum is actually in the open lot. You just come into the engineering building, it is right just there, sort of tucked away. You can just interact with that, swipe your keycard, and then grab the third part of the serum. Now make your way over to the field hospital and interact with this sort of transfusion machine here. And this will actually sort of blow up and cause some dogs to spawn. You just want to take out the dogs, and then you want to interact with the machine again to move the serum into the distributor. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but into the distributor, and then you actually want to pick up the, I'm not sure what it's called, but the part on the table. You now want to run back up to the open lot. You want to jump up here, and you want to go up to this air vent and actually place on the delivery system, which will actually pump this truth serum into Dr. Peck's sort of lounge area. Then you want to run down, and you just want to listen to him and interact with him, and you will be able to move on to the next step. Once Dr. Peck starts dancing for a while, you'll actually be able to interact with him, and he will tell you to head over to the data center. You now want to go to the data center and interact with this machine, and then you want to grab one of the essence traps. Now you want to progress to the next round and train in the helipad area until you have 1 or 2 zombies left. You now want to run around the map looking for locations with multiple drops like score streaks and salvage as shown. One of these score streaks, if you walk up to them, will spawn a mimic boss in front of you. You now want to get the mimic zombie close to no HP, and then throw down your essence trap, and then double tap interact with the mimic boss zombie when the mimic boss zombie is close to it for it to be sucked into it. Then wait for once the essence trap turns purple, and someone will say that the target was captured and there are 3 minutes remaining. If your mimic jumps back out once you had already captured it, this means you did not weaken it enough and you need to go back to the machine at the data center to pick up a new essence trap.
Target captured. Collect for processing. 3 minutes to containment failure. Return to processing station immediately.
Once collected, pick the trap back up and run back to the machine in the data center and interact with it to transfer the data. If this is the correct drive, which it should be using this strat, Weaver will say it is the right one, and if it is not the right one, he will say that this is useless. Now continue to the next round and repeat the process of training zombies in the helipad and then saving one and looking for score streaks on the ground. If you cannot find the score streaks on the ground, go to the next round and continue looking for them. The locations the score streaks are most likely to spawn is outside the engineering room in the open lot, outside the weapons test lab, in the motor office, in the military control room, and finally upstairs in the spawn room. You want to repeat this process and transfer data 3 times, and on the final time the machine will pop out a floppy disk for you to pick up.
Nice work. Let's get the mainframe rebooted.
You now want to go to the planning offices and insert the floppy disk into this computer to open the sphere outside. There will then be a build-up and an announcer say there is not enough power. You then want to go and talk over to Dr. Peck, and he will give you a set of instructions. After Dr. Peck speaks, Ravchenko will give you a code which you want to enter this locker, and you can then pick up the ether meter that will drop out. You then want to run outside and run into this bunker and pick up the shovel inside.
But he's with Maxis, and that's what counts. Let's find these crystals and bring her home.
Now make your way to the open lot and interact with this corner to dig up the ether container. Interact with it and it will cause many other ether containers to spawn in the area. I repeat, do not pick up any containers yet. Basically, what you want to do is look for the ether containers that do not have a dark mist inside of them. You're looking for the one with the white mist. There are two images on screen now on what you should be looking for and what not to be looking for. It is very easy to tell the difference between these containers in-game, and if you get it wrong and pick up the wrong container, a bunch of mimics will spawn and you have to progress to the next round and dig up the container again. When you think you have found the right container, pick it up. You now want to go over to the jungle defense area and walk along this mill path and interact with this dirt pile to dig up the ether container. This will start a small lockdown that you just need to survive and kill zombies in. Zombies will spawn along with hellhounds and Russian manglers. If you do not yet have the mangler arm for the Ray K free upgrade Easter egg, feel free to shoot his arm off and you can get the part actually earlier than necessary. When the lockdown is finished, pick up your ether container. For the next step, you actually need the Ray K under 1 weapons. That's why shooting this mangler's arm off at the earlier lockdown stage we just did is really highly recommended. Once you build the Ray K, you can go on to the next step. Once you have your Ray K, go over to the barracks area and come to this corner to interact with this ether container. Once you dig it up, it will teleport away from you. This ether container, if you ever get close to it, to go and pick it up, it will just teleport away from you to another part of the map. To stop your ether container from moving when you get near it, you want to use the toggle fire on your Ray K to shoot the charge shot at the ether container. Then you can then run up to it and pick it up no problems. Now you need to go up to all 3 ether reactors and install crystals, and then go back up to the spherical ball from earlier in the Easter egg.
Wait, what's happening?
I just want to note that before we continue the next step, you do want to get fully set up, you do want to pack a punch, get all your perks, but you do want to keep the essence trap because it will be needed for the next step. You definitely want the Ray K for the boss fight. I recommend, you don't really need a fully packed. I had mine tier 2 and still did pretty well. But once you're fully set up, we can move on to the next step. You now want to get 1 zombie left, and you want to trap it in the essence trap, which will give you 3 minutes with no zombies. You then want to run up to this computer and interact with it. Then move the blue dot on your screen to hover over the stars on the map. When the blue dot is hovered over the star, you should see a flag in the bottom right of your screen. If there is a flag, move your blue dot to a different star. What you want to do is hover over all the stars until you find the star that instead of having a flag, it has a question mark instead. If you're still confused by this, just watch my gameplay and you'll see what I mean. When you find that star, press your button to align it, and then step outside and watch what happens. After some time, you want to run back up to the OPC or the sphere, and you want to interact with this computer, and this will start the cutscene, which will lead you into the boss fight. This boss fight is a fairly easy boss fight, especially have the Ray K. Basically what you want to do is to shoot this auto boss fight pretty much like you do on round 31, except he's a bit closer. Basically you want to shoot where his fire is right now to do extra critical damage. And you basically just want to take my paths going through the buildings up to stay away from the zombies and in cover from his attacks. Just keep shooting, keep shooting. Do not get too close to him, however, because if you do, he will pretty much insta-down you. Once he dies, the outro cutscene will play, the game will end, and congratulations, you completed the Firebase Z Easter egg. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. I hope you did enjoy. Like I said, if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Be sure to use this guide when you're jumping into a 5A Z match. You want to complete the Easter egg in the next couple of days this weekend. So I'm telling you, man, this is definitely a very, very, very good guide, especially with that mimic step. Not a lot of people explaining it. I've watched some guides, other people's guides, and not a lot of people explaining that properly, but we definitely did in this video. But anyway guys, that's it from me. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you enjoyed.